Hello mga ka-tribes! Welcome to Daddy Brew TV. For today's video, let's have lesson 4. Solving real-life problems involving functions. Now, let's consider examples below and reflect if you are confident enough to proceed with our lesson. Example number 1. Write a function C that represent the cost of buying X face mask if a face mask costs 65 pesos. Solution: C of X is equal to 65X. Example number 2. A commuter pays 9 pesos for a jeepney fare for the first 5 kilometers and an additional 75 centavos for every succeeding distance in kilometer. Represent the situation as function. Solution: the function of the distance or f of d is equal to 9 if d is between 0 and 5 inclusive. F of d is equal to 9 plus 0.75d if the distance or d is greater than 5. Example number 3. If f of x is equal to x plus 6, evaluate a, f of 4, b, f of negative 2, and c, f of negative x. Solution for a. F of 4 is equal now to 4 plus 6, replacing x in the given function by 4. And what is 4 plus 6? That is equal to 10. Next, solution B. F of negative 2. Replacing x in the function, that is now negative 2 plus 6. That is now equal to 4. And 4 is the answer. Solution C. F of negative x. Replacing negative x to the variable x, we have negative x plus 6. And that is now equal to negative x plus 6. Okay? Next, what's new in this lesson or video lessons? Now, let us read and analyze the problem below. Miguel is a senior high school student who commutes from home to school, which is 15 kilometers apart. There are two modes of transportation. The first one is through jeep and the other one is through tricycle. In riding a jeepney, the fare charges 9 pesos for the first 4 kilometer travel and 75 centavos for each additional kilometer. Meanwhile, in riding a tricycle, the fare would be 10 pesos for the first kilometer travel and 1 peso for each additional kilometer. Will you help Miguel analyze his situation? Questions. Number 1. If you are Miguel and decided to ride in a jeepney, how much will be your fare? So the hint is the table below. For the number of kilometers between 0 to 4 kilometers, the amount charged is 9 pesos. If it is 5 kilometers, that is 9 plus 0.75 or 9.75. The question is, his distance from home to school is 15 kilometers. So how much would he pay? That will be your problem. Next, example number 2. If you decided to ride in a tricycle, how much will be your fare? So you may use the strategy in number 2. Take note, for the first kilometer, you're going to pay 10 pesos. And for the additional kilometer, you're going to add 1 peso. Since the distance from home is 15 kilometers, so how much would he pay for a tricycle? Okay? Next, number 3. What characteristics does Miguel possess if he chooses to ride a jeepney? Reserve your answer. That will be discussed on our F2F encounter. Question number 4. Is there any advantage in riding a jeepney instead of tricycle? Or riding a tricycle instead of jeepney? What would it be? And question number 5. If you are Miguel, which between the two modes of transportation will you choose? Why? Now, what is it? Decision making. Decision making is always part of our lives. From the moment we wake up, we start to decide the proper action to undertake, be it minor or major decisions. In the problem presented, Miguel is about to consider the jeepney and tricycle fare in making decisions. He will only pay 17 pesos and 25 centavos in a jeepney while 24 pesos in a tricycle. With this, it will be more economical if he will choose to ride in a jeepney. However, the cost of the fare is just one of the factors. There are times that convenience is also considered in choosing the mode of transportation. Aside from not being crowded and you can reach your destination faster, therefore, in deciding the mode of transportation, the priority of the commuters whether to be more economical or to meet convenience is considered. Now, let's have example number 1. The title is Let's Travel. A proposed light rail transit system Line 1 or LRT1 fare would charge 18 pesos for the first 4 stations and 5 pesos for each additional station over the proposed fare. Question A. Find the fare function fx, where x represents the number of stations traveled. B. Find the proposed fare for 15 stations. And C. Find the proposed fare for 20 stations. Now, to solve problems that involve functions, you can employ George Polya's 4-step rule. What are these 4-step rule? 1. Explore. This step involves careful reading, analyzing, identifying the given and unknown facts in the problem, and expressing the unknown in terms of variables. Next is plan. In this step, writing an equation that describes the relationships between or among the variables is involved. Next is solve. This step requires working out with the written equation and other number relations to determine the required quantities that answer the questions in the problem. And last, check. The final step that employs the use of other approaches to examine the appropriateness of the answer. Okay? So always take note of these 4 steps by George Polya. 1 is explore, 2 plan, 3 solve, and 4 check. Now, let's apply that formula or rule in answering the problem. Now, for the solution, A, let's explore. Since the first step involves analysis and proper labeling of the known and unknown facts, we will let x equal to the number of stations traveled. There are also some conditions that was set in the problem, such as the cost of fare, which is set up to 4 stations only. Thus, we can represent x minus 4 equal to the number of stations traveled over and above 4 stations. Next rule, plan. In writing an equation that will represent the relationship between the known and unknown quantities, since we know that if we traveled up to 4 stations, we must pay 18 pesos. We can represent it as f of x is equal to 18, for x is between 0 and 4 stations inclusive. However, if we traveled more than 4 stations, the cost of the fare have different method of computation, so we need to consider it. Since the cost of every station after the 4th station is 5 pesos, we will now obtain the function f of x is equal to 18 plus 5 times x minus 4. Now, Simplifying the equation will lead us to f of x is equal now to 18 plus 5x minus 20. And therefore, our function is f of x is equal now to 5x minus 2, combining similar terms. So at this point, we can say that the fair function is equal now to the function f of x equal to 5x minus 2. B. Let's solve. To find the fair charge for 15 stations, the fair function f of x is equal to 5x minus 2 will be used, and 15 will be substituted to the function f of 15 is equal now to 5 times 15 minus 2. And that is now equal to 73 pesos. So it means after 15 stations, you're going to pay 73 pesos. Using the formula, f of x is equal to 5x minus 2. By evaluating the function, we obtain f of 15 equal to 73. Now, let's check our answer. To check whether we arrive at the correct solution, you can use the table or graph. Thus, the proposed fare for 15 station travel is 73 pesos. Now, let's answer question letter C. The question is after 20 stations. So just replace 20 in the function 5x minus 2. That is now f of 20 is equal now to 5 times 20 minus 2. And that is now 98 pesos. The proposed fare for 20 station travel is equal to 98 pesos. Bye! Thank you for watching. See you on my next video.